Part 3 of the rear main seal series on the S10. So in last video, left off as the only thing I needed to do was put the transmission back in. I found out real fast, real quick that no matter how fat I am, doesn't mean I'm strong. So I needed an extra hand. I got that extra hand, went beautifully. I have 2 bolts fastened in there and they're tight, so the transmission's not going to dip back down. I was a little nervous about that first, but when I let the jack down just a little bit, the engine and the transmission's moving together, not just the transmission no more, because the cross member helps it stabilize and stay straight. And obviously, with the cross member off, everything's going to dip down just a little bit. But that is also a good thing because that's going to help fasten the rest of the bolts in. And then once the bolts are threaded in, I'm going to do like an X. I'm going to start with the bottom right, top left, top right, bottom left, and then I'll torque them all in. Then the only thing that needs to happen is put the hydraulic clutch line back in. All the electrical plugs that are unplugged, put them back in. All the bracket bolts that I took off, got to put them back on. And then put the cross member back on. And then put the drive shaft back on. Put some fluid in the transmission. Do a fresh oil change. Start her up. And hopefully the leaks stop. Because if it doesn't stop, I don't know. It's either I did the job wrong or there's just a major old leak. But when I first got the truck, I did the front main seal, and then a little bit before I actually did the rear main seal job, I did the intake manifold gasket and the valve cover gasket. Now that's where it started leaking oil heavy. Now I already knew it leaked oil before, but it would burn off the exhaust and it would drip after the truck was off. But this time I could see it doing drip, 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 drip while I was on because it was falling off of the starter. So I knew right there and then, I was like, damn, I'm resealing everything. Now the oil's can't go anywhere else, so it's all being pressurized in one area, rear main seal. So I just said, fuck it. I couldn't even take it for a drive because it was just leaking horribly. And I made sure I went through the intake manifold gasket and the valve cover gasket. It's dry up there. I made sure the filter was on right and the drain plug was tight. And I retorqued all the bolts for the intake and the valve cover. It's fine. And also the old feeding tube, that was tight. It's fine. So I knew I didn't mess up there. But this rear main seal, it definitely got worse, really, really bad. And I haven't been able to drive the truck in a good minute, so I really want to get this done. So I'm going to stop rambling on. Let's just get to it, y'all. So y'all can see the first bolt right here, bolted in all flush, and I'm working on that top bolt right there. Howdy, y'all. Right now you're sitting in my wheel well because I'm taking a little break. It's about 83 today here in Kentucky. It's hot. It's hot in the garage today. Beautiful day though. Real beautiful day. So I wish my wife was here. She's working right now. She'll be able to put her hand all the way up in there in between the transmission and the transmission tunnel. As I can. I ain't the fattest sumbitch, but I also ain't the skinniest. So it's really hard. So I couldn't do it. Even using the extension of the swivel, a universal joint, a impact one would be nice. I have swivel sockets, but it only goes up to a 17. So I've been trying to use this, but when it's on there, it fucking just does this number. It's just junk. So what I did, I tore this open. So right here is the location where the oil filter is, and if you ever need to change your spark plugs, wires, that's where it all connects to from the top to the bottom, if y'all want to know. But this cover right here, I just ripped it off. Because right back here, right back there is where the transmission meets the engine. And when you stick your arm all the way in there and you do this, you can feel the second hole right here, and if you go up a little bit higher, you can feel the third one. I hand tightened those till I couldn't no more. It is tight, hand tightened. Not torqued, not ratcheted, but as I did it at like that, I was able to do it, and I got it tight. Whew. And there's not a lot of room, y'all. It's just the lines are in the way, there's wires in the way. I just cannot fit my arm in between there either. And like I said, even with the extension and the sockets, y'all saw that chrome swivel joint's freaking junk. So, yeah, I just stuck my hand all the way through there, and I tightened it like that. I got one bolt left now, which is on the complete other side. I can't stick my arm up there either. But on the other side, instead of the very bottom one, I managed to get the second one with an extension and the universal joint. It actually worked, but on this side, yeah, good fucking luck, y'all. You guys have fun with that, because I really don't want to do this shit again. This is not fun at all. Why did I choose to do this? Well, either way. Y'all can see right now that it is dipped down. It's putting some stress on the engine mats, but it's going to be temporary. See, now, that bolt all the way on top, I'll be able to access that, the one right there, and the one right there. It's going to be the same thing on the other side of the transmission. Just bolt those down with your ratchet as hard as you can until it's snug, and then get your torque wrench and torque them down. So before y'all do anything, make sure that it's like this is not flush all the way up. Now, if you can see up there, well, the last two bolts are like, probably ain't gonna focus, but they are right up in there, and you'll barely be able to fit a ratchet and extension through here, because when you have it jacked all the way up, it's flush against the transmission tunnel, so you're obviously not going to be able to get it through there. So you got to make sure that they're all hand tightened in, and then you're going to want to drop this. I dropped this just a little bit because the transmission is bolted in, and I made sure to go all the way around, and it's completely flush. The transmission against the block is completely flush. So then, and I tightened them a little bit with the ratchet as much as I could if I could reach it. And then I dropped the transmission with the engine. It all tilts back like this. It's putting a lot of stress on the engine mounts, but you're only going to do that momentarily, and you're not going to keep it like that. So whenever you drop this, drop it as far as you want to go down until you can visibly see the bolts up on top. And then go ahead and go all the way around and tighten them and torque them down. And once you're done, jack this back up and put your cross member back in. And then you're done. Just put everything else back together. Torquing. I'd say that's about 75 foot-pounds. Torquing. About 65, we'll call that. Might have over torqued that, might be 102.5. Double. Double. Four. Then, don't forget, this is the bottom right bolt on the passenger side. It's a bolt and a nut. There are 3 grounds that need to go on it. So let's get that going. Just by y'all looking at me, you can see how fucking oily it was down there. Gosh. It better be fixed or I'll be fucking pissed. So, transmission is in. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. It is in. I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's done. Transmission is done. The job ain't done, but transmission is done. D-O-N-E. Done. Not a lot left to do. Put these covers back on. Put these brackets back on. Put the cross member back on. And then, might Might as well put the starter back on too. And then put the drive shaft on. Put the bracket bolts back in for the lines. Then plug in all the holes. Not the holes, I'm sorry, y'all. Plug in the electrical plugs. Then put the drain bolt back in. Then put the exhaust together. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything else. No, I think that's it, yeah. Transmission cover, brackets, starter, cross member, drive shaft, exhaust, and then fluids, then plugs, then bolts. Let's get going. All right, y'all, got some lunch. Ready to knock this out. So where I left off was putting these transmission covers back on. As you put this one on first, and then you'll slide this one right on top of it. I'm gonna cover it like this. So let's get down into the truck. We should have about, let's see, 5, I believe they're 10s, let's double check. They are 10s, they're 5 10mm bolts. So let's put those on, and then we might as well just put the starter on, then we'll do the transmission bracket bolts. So the starter's right here. It's got to go up there. The cover is not fully tightened on, and I forget which way, if I can grab it. I forget which way this cover goes on. So we're gonna get the starter on first, and then bolt the starter in, and then we'll be able to see how that plate goes on. The starter bolts are 15mm. You have a short one and a really long one. All right, now let's put the bitch in. Watch out for flying freaking debris. All right. The really long one is right here. There we go. Let that hang there for a second. And the short one goes right up here. All right, y'all, so got the starter in. This just goes like that. That's simple. There's these 2 bolt holes right here. It's matched up. Put the 10s in and tighten her down. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna do the brace bars. We're gonna be doing the driver's side first. And these bolts and that nut are 13 millimeters. You can either use a socket or a wrench. I might do a wrench just so it fits easier. All right, so this side, so it's gonna sit in like this. And you can see this piece right here. That's where this piece will go into, and that'll best line us up to be able to put our bolts in, put our nut in. I lied. So that goes there, and we have a long bolt for that, and that piece right there. That's where the nut goes. And then you go over that, creeps underneath to right there. Now, it's time for the passenger side. Let's bolt this in. They're also 13 millimeters. There's a reason why I have these laid out like this. So this bolts into the side like that, and this will sit flush against the transmission. Up against the transmission right here. Goes all the way to the side, right up in there. All right, y'all, now we can move on to drum roll. Oh, that's a dent. That's what I needed. More fucking whiskey dents. Now, we can put this here cross member on. This is going... You know what? No. I'm going to be fucking positive for once. This is going to go great. I lost my magnet. And like I showed y'all in the first episode of the series, it goes through the frame. Whoever engineered these trucks, I'm going to find you and fucking strangle you. You bastard. How dare you? Golly. Like, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it. So, like I told y'all, there's 4 of these. The nut side is a 15. This is a 13. This will go through the frame to a hole, and then this will meet it on the other side. So just use a 15 wrench, and I'm going to use my swivel because it actually kind of holds it in there, even if I shake it a little bit. But if it drops, it's stuck in the frame because I don't got a freaking magnet. And I already lost 1 in the frame, so I actually got 3 out of the 4 bolts. If I come down to 2, I guess I'm going to have 1 on this side, 1 on the other side, and that's it. Don't know what to tell myself. All right, and then this plate right here. Show y'all. This goes like this. Bolts go through these holes and they'll lay on top like that. Fairly easy. These are 13s on both sides. So, nope, I'm a liar. Bolt side, 13. Nut side, a 15. So, let's get biatch going. Oh, and also before I forget, that kind of bolt looking thing on the transmission, you poke it through this hole and the nut goes on it. Let's get this going. Alrighty. Let's do this one right here. I don't like that noise. I got the middle bolt nut in. I didn't tell you all the size of this. I think it might be a 15. You can figure it out. You're a big boy. Haha. I realize y'all probably can't see this. Damn. Whoops. Let's try this side. Oh, you're home. Oh, that's fucked. Oh, please. What if I go in up? Nah, that ain't gonna work. Probably help if I put the nut in too. I gotta put the nut in on top of here so it doesn't keep freaking flying off. Oh, first try, baby. Yeah, come to daddy. I'm not gonna say that again. I'm sorry, y'all. Are you stuck now? I like my suitcase. You like your suitcase? All right, now, just the nut is on top, 15 millimeter, and bottom is 13. Just put the wrench on top and impact her and torque it, and then go to the other side, the shitty side. See how over there? I swear to God, my genius fucking scares me sometimes. Obviously, I had 3 out of the 4 of these. Found this little number in my junk drawer. And it's a 15 millimeter, and I already got the damn wrench down here. Just had to grab the socket. How about them fucking apples? I mean, I'll tell you. Let's just shut up and do this shit. Time to go home now. Time to go home now. Well, here's an idea. Chances to fit through the fucking hole. It's 'cause it's not lined up all the way. Who would guess? Genius. All right, y'all, now it's time for the 13 millimeters turn to go home. So, once you get it in there, like I said, just make sure that the damn nut is, you get the nut in on the other side, because it could fall out. So yeah, let's get this going. Here's a fun little update for y'all. That bolt and nut that I was just trying to put in, I dropped it in the frame. 0.1 for the retard. But we ain't got 2 no more, because remember, I found that other nut and bolt, and now we're back to 3 out of 4, baby. Let's go. All right, y'all. All the bolts, all of them are in. There's 3 out of 4 is in. All 3 is in over there. And I just finished tightening the middle bolt on the cross member, the 15 millimeter nut. And theoretically, this thing should just drop okay. Let's see. Pucker up and fucking call me daddy, because golly. Fucking be solid. Yup. Shake that transmission, make sure we are good. Oh yeah. Fucking blind. Yeah, look at that. We ain't moving. So let's get that drain plug back in, connect all the wires, bolt in all the brackets. All right, now, whew. Hex socket. It's a size 17. Just goes in just like that. Perfect snug fit. Now, y'all see where it changes color? I don't think y'all can see it well, but you can probably see it like that. So like in here, those are all the holes in the, or sorry, it's all clean up here. That's where it threads into. The bottom here is just rust or surface rust, and then just years of debris, and then the inside's nice and clean. Threads here all nice and clean, so you only want to go up a certain amount. I guess you don't want to thread it all the way in. That's just my take on it, because when I was at the dealership, whenever I did transmission exchange fluids on like Traxxas or Malibus, you only wanted to put the transmission drain bolt halfway in. So I'm assuming it's the same way for this one. So let's need a half inch. Let's put her on there. All right, here we go. Big moment, because this is the first thing I took off. Maybe I should leave it for the last, but now I'm just ready to get this bitch done. Ooh, she's rough. Wipe her off a bit. Nice big old, and there's the light. Golly. All right, we're back. I think we got like just one more thread to go. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah. It's only just surface rust now that's in the bolt. And if needed, I might do just a couple more turns just to be safe. I ain't gonna fucking crank on her. One more. There we go. Yeah, I ain't gonna go all the way in, because if I go all the way in, it's just gonna get, that'll probably get stuck or break in there. So that's good. Oh, I'm probably gonna need that. All right, well let's just plug everything in. Put all the bracket bolts on there and call it a day. Then on the passenger side, you got this plug in here, this plug here, and then you have a bracket bolt that goes right here, and then the last one that goes on that side. It's another day. Finished off yesterday. Putting the cross member back on, putting the drain plug back in. Now, we're gonna look around. I put this cover back on just because, one, I forgot, two, just don't feel like it. I shook it around a lot. It's pretty solid, and if it feels pretty shaky on the inside, I'll just force it back on. It's not a big deal. But drive shaft, hydraulic clutch line, exhaust. That's it. Well, then fluids, obviously. But these are 11s. I have this kind of fucked up one. So I'm gonna have to use a 12 for it. It's not gonna like it, but it'll work. So get rid of the truck, put the drive shaft on, get this bitch done. It's very simple to shove it in, just line it up, and now it's all the way in, and you'll be able to spin it so that on the end you'll be able to have some free reign to try to get the end on. So it's pushed in all the way, and y'all can see that it's not exactly flushed up against it, but all you need to do is just pull it back out, then just shove it there. There, now nice and flush. So then take those, put those little U's on there, run the bolts in, and tighten it up. Very simple, very easy. Just sets up right against that. And these 11s need to be tightened down. Same thing on the other side, and it's on there. Your drive shaft will fully be on there. And then now the only thing that's left is the hydraulic clutch line, and then we can drop the truck to the ground. Hey, I lied. Gotta put this on too, 8mm. But first, last thing that we need to do underneath the truck. Everything else is done. I know that because everything on the table is gone besides the exhaust hanger bolts and downpipe bolts. I'm getting new bolts for those, so I'm not really worried about that right now. I can do that. Pause. Anyways, before I was really interrupted, I can get those with the truck on the ground. It's not a big deal. Yeah. But this piece is a very important piece. This cotter pin, whatever the hell you call it. When you get that line in, you'll see the holes on the other side of the piece that's kind of poking out of the transmission. Do not drop this in the hole. I was lucky because my wife is fucking smart, and she made this little magnet contraption out of the pencil and glue, and we got it out. If you drop this in here, you just say forget about it, don't worry about it. But when I first did it, I cannot find another one of these. I guess because I don't know the specific name for it. I'm sure if I go to a junkyard, I could just pop this off of another one. But I just needed it right there and then. So it's going to be a bitch to try to get it out. You either got to drop the transmission or stick a curvy magnet, pray to God it gets out, or go to the junkyard and get another one. Or if you're not dumb like me, you can look it up. But once you put that line on, you'll see the grooves on the other side where it needs to go, and just dink, pop it right on. Here it is, y'all. I'm trying to get the lighting good for you. There you go. As you can see, how the cotter pin sits in those grooves. Just gotta shove it. You gotta first put this all the way in, and then with your other hand, shove it all the way down there, and it'll click, and now it won't come out at all. And then now let's put the shifter on. All right, so now theoretically we can just plop it on and push just like that. All right, y'all, it is fully in there. It is nice and secured. That ain't going nowhere. It's in neutral right now. I ain't gonna mess with it because this transmission has no transmission oil in it. So I'll go ahead and just put the cover back on. All right, just because when you set it on there and it feels flush, it's not. So make sure you do an X pattern when you're tightening it down. I just did an impact so it's quicker, and I did it very slow, and it'll kind of set down more and it'll be completely flush. And like I said, shake it around, it ain't going anywhere. It's in neutral, it will go in gear, but I'm not gonna keep messing around with it because like I said, there's no fluid in this bitch at all. So I'm gonna get the cover back on, the boot back on, then we can just strap the truck and put some fluid in it. start it up, check for leaks. Found my magnet. I used it for this. It's been the S10 for 3 days now. It would have been nice for the frame bolts. I wouldn't have lost that one, but you know what? We're gonna move on. I'll fix it later. Ain't a big deal. 3 out of the 4, it'll be all right. All right. I actually might creep down there and try to get that foam back in, because I realize moisture and water will get in here, so it's probably a good idea if I go ahead and do that real quick. After being drenched in foam fuzzies for about 5 minutes, it's finally somewhat in. Not the best, but it'll do for now. All right, y'all, here's the obnoxiously long shifter. Just bought another extension for it. This sumbitch is long. I love it. So let's drop the truck. So I kind of ran into an issue. So I'm an idiot, and when I first got this, the threads obviously didn't match well with this one. So I drilled it out and smoothed it out, and then I would shove it on there and twist until it couldn't twist no more. And it stayed on there pretty well, but it kept popping off. So then I shaved this down and hot glued it. That's not working. And this ball is really big, which I like because it fits the hand. I originally got this one, but as you can tell, it's a lot smaller, and look how tiny that is. So obviously that's not gonna be anywhere near to be able to go in. But I have this big ass drill bit. And I'm gonna keep doing it until the hole's a little bit big enough, just so that I can literally shove it on there and make it look even, and that's it. So I'll show y'all when I'm done. All right, it worked. Shut it in as far as I could. I twisted it around to where it would catch the rubber on the inside and not move. And also maybe I hot glued it a little bit. I won't tell if you won't tell. But yeah, it looks good. I wish obviously it was this size, because this side's a lot bigger. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot bigger. I want a Hurst one, but I think the Hurst one will fit the actual threads that this is supposed to be. Obviously, like I said, I shaved it down because the threads were wrong, and I didn't feel like ordering another one. And I didn't feel like, and I got adapters, none of them worked, so I got frustrated, so I just did it because I just wanted it. Truck's officially done. I am going to drop it to the ground. Just got to put the wheel back on. Don't need it. All right, I'm gonna get on the ground, get some fluid, fill it up, start it, drive it. All right, y'all, much better. It is nice and sturdy. It actually feels pretty nice. It's not too bad. Now, let's drive this fucking truck. All right, y'all, this is it. Done. Hey, y'all, it's a new day, and I am in the final stages of assembly. I got the transmission fluid, and I got the new bolts for the exhaust and for the downpipe. And once that's in, I just gotta reconnect the battery and start it up, see what happens. I'm very nervous, but I'm also really excited. It's been a long time since I've driven it. Not that long, but yeah, probably about a month. You know, I've just been really busy, and I'm really excited just to get back together and drive it back to work. So enough rambling on. I'll show y'all what I got, and we'll just get it done. So first and foremost, I'll show y'all what type of transmission fluid I got. I got the Pennzoil Secret Mesh, and this is actually very highly recommended for GM products. It says it down here. I did a little bit more research. GM uses a lot of Pennzoil stuff when it comes to transmissions, and even just some dealerships just using them for their normal oil changes. But for sure, the Secret Mesh one, everyone says to get the Secret Mesh one. They had a Valvoline version, but they didn't have that, and I didn't want to order it in. And they have an AC Delco version, but that's $30 a quart of something like this. But it's fucking $30 a bottle, so I was not going to do that. And you need 3 quarts. So I got 3 of these, and It's just like the drain bolt on the transmission. It's a 17 hex, and the fill plug is on the left side of the transmission, like on this side where the driver sits. And it's right on the side of that on the transmission. And it looks like it has obviously just a little spout for you to be able to put it in there. I don't know if that'll fit. So I also got this geared fluid pump, which is just a transfer from the bottle to the transmission. And they said it takes 3 quarts or until it starts dripping out. So once it starts dripping out the side is when you know that's full. And the new bolts that I got, this is for the downpipe. They're 14s. And the bolts that connect the downpipe to the rear part of the exhaust, those are 14s as well. Y'all's is probably going to be just a little bit different just because I tinker with my exhaust a lot and I change it up a lot. But what will be the same for y'all is the filler plug on the driver's side of the transmission, 17 hex. And then when y'all fill it up, you can get whatever you want. You can get the Valvoline version, or you can get Pennzoil Synchro Mesh, or you can get AC Delco Synchro Mesh. It really just, it's your preference. I chose a cheaper route. So let's get down there, get this going. All right, y'all, so we're under the truck. Obviously, that's where the drain plug was. And right up here is the filler plug. So like I said, same size. And make sure when you're done, when you bolt it back in, don't bolt it in all the way. Stop it where the surface rust stops, or starts, I guess. So we'll loosen that off and get the hole in there. Here's the filler plug. You can see where the rust starts and where the rust doesn't. So make sure when you put it back in, just stop it when this shiny part ends. To break it loose, y'all are definitely going to need to use a breaker bar. I tried it with this, just ain't going to do it. Just get yourself a breaker bar. All right, y'all, so there's no way to have enough room to be able to pour it in there like this. So I'm going to use the pump. It comes with this that you put on the bottom. That goes in here, and then obviously this goes into the filler hole, and then you just pump it until it's empty. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I won't show y'all how it's done. Just let you guys know when I'm finished. We'll put the plug back in, and then my wife's gonna help me put the exhaust back together. We'll start it up. All right, y'all, I got my lovely assistant here. Say hi, hon.
Hello.
Make sure to let them know.
It's dripping.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.